Holy cow.
You have fun, Don?
Man, I took a nap and I had an ice cream. And then
Oh
Shane
boy.
comes up and first off, good evening everybody. It's Tuesday, October 11th. I think our 82nd show, 81st, 83rd show.
In the year of our Lord 2022.
Yes. Coming from the man who was so well prepared before the show.
Shut up.
Um, we'll get into that in a second. But as soon as that music kicked in, I'm not sure if anyone else was doing what I was doing. I felt like it was 1982, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, somewhere around there. I felt like I had the sneakers that Spicoli had that were checkerboard slash cheap trick Ricky Nelson. Of course, the kids nowadays would call them Vans. But, you know, man, that was just some good rocking music to get things going. So
It was good.
it was
It was
good.
good.
So Shane, we see you out there. Thank you, Shane. And we
Well, we
got
got Shane here. What are you talking about?
well, we have a different Shane. We got Scout
We got the
75 here.
Shane that will show up anytime we ask.
Not only that, I don't know if he pulled the shortest straw, but he's on here tonight. So for everybody in the chat, this is one of the funniest guys that I know. In the top 100 people I know, this guy is funny, and you always see him in the chat. You always see him in the chat with his zings, and guess what? He's right about those zings. They're right about 99.99% of the time. So we're glad he's here tonight and everything. He cleared his schedule to be here tonight. So
I figured you invited me to keep me out of the chats harassing you. I can't do both at the same time.
we're not going to be able to take your chats and put them as banners now. So,
Yeah.
but
Nope. The other Shane is busy, so the spare Shane came in and
The
just
spare Shane.
filled
So-
the square for you guys. So thanks for having me on.
tell you what, let's just take care of some quick housekeeping stuff that we gotta do, should do, want to do, and everything. Again, for those of you who are here again supporting us, we thank you. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna talk about whatever, and we seem to have some of the greatest shows when they're just loose and we're not prepared, but we really are prepared. So it's just one of those. We're gonna have fun tonight. I got my cigar. I got my JC Newman. For those of you wondering, we'll get it right out of the back. This is from JC Newman. This is the Pearl de Sea, the PDM. This is a great Nicaraguan cigar. I love it. Um, we just posted the banner there for anybody who is able to financially support us, whether it's a couple bucks or whatever. Guys, we know there's some potential hard times across America, even to Canada. They just had their Thanksgiving this previous weekend. We'll talk about that. But they're thankful for a lot of things. I know Molson's very thankful for being here with us and everything. But again, the money that we raise, we put back into some type of prize package for you guys. So if you guys can do something, the Buy Me a Coffee link is up. It's always available 24 hours a day. You wake up in the middle of the night and you don't know what to do. Hey, a couple bucks it's always good. You know what I mean? With that, Molson, let's hear it. Let's hear some audio because Molson had a problem when he checked in.
And there's never problems, man. There's only solutions.
There's and you had the solution, didn't you? What'd you
Just push
do?
every button. Just push every button until my mic worked.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to have to do that master reset like 3 minutes before, which takes 5 minutes to do the reset.
Yeah, well, my sister, I went to my sister's place. We're renovating on the I left there around 7:00. It's 8:00 now, locally. For those of you not in Central Time Zone, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I went there and they're painting, and I got one of those airless sprayers, where it pumps it, and it pumps it when you spray. She called me like 10 minutes after I left. She's like, I know you have your show tonight, but it stopped working. And I'm like, okay, we'll do this, do that, do this. She's like, oh, we can't get it. Finally, she calls me back and she goes, we shut it off and just turn it back on. It works. I'm like, there. That's the master reset is what you do. So
plug on.
We had things. Yesterday was Canadian Thanksgiving. And so that was awesome. I had to get rolled from the dining room to the living room because that's the worst thing about turkey
What?
is like, well, just like you're in a comatose after. It's like you can't
Wait a minute.
move.
I'm sure you had on your black sweatpants, right?
No,
Why? But why? It's the thing to do on Thanksgiving. You
is
always
it?
wear a flexible waistband unless you're meeting with somebody. Unless you're going over
This
someone's
isn't
house where
people
you
at
really.
Walmart, Don. This is
No, but that's no. Listen. If I'm going over to somewhere who people who I don't really know and this and that, absolutely not. You put on something decent. I mean, those are the playground rules, as they say. But there's nothing wrong with sweatpants that maybe don't look like sweatpants and they got that elasticity because you're gonna be eating a lot of food. How many courses did you do? Like what's a Canadian seriously, what is a Canadian Thanksgiving?
it's turkey stuffing. You just it's all laid out either on the table or buffet style, and you eat, and then you have dessert, which is usually pumpkin pie or apple pie, something like
Wait a
that.
minute. You don't do any Monte Gras?
Who?
Monte Gras, it's Italian.
Wait,
You don't
well, I'm
do any
not Italian.
lasagna.
No,
No.
no.
You don't do no Monte Gras.
Usually it's well, my sister made mac and cheese,
Oh,
so
Okay.
that was
now I
that.
know what
But
you're talking about.
All right. Well, that's a form of macaroni. It's not quite. It's not Monte Gras, but we'll go with that. Okay.
it's
All
got
right.
pasta and cheese. It's Italian. What are you talking about?
So what's
It's
the
not the
story behind the
parmesan.
Canadian Thanksgiving? Is there,
Yeah.
U.S. has it for the Pilgrims and all that kind of stuff. Is there a similar story, or did you just thought, hey, that
Not.
looks like a fun idea, let's do it a month earlier? Or
I should
Yeah.
Google
What
it.
was that?
Uh,
Because if
no,
we
it's
go on to
just
Sealand, let me
being
tell you
thankful.
something. Don't forget, if we take over Sealand, someone's gonna have to be in charge of creating holidays for us.
Well,
So and there's certain days and when we should honor them. So and maybe Sealand should be maybe that should be our Thanksgiving, or that. No, actually, that would be more of our July 4th day because that would be our Independence Day of creating it. But anyway,
so it's just the harvest festival. Like it's the time of harvest, but it's Thanksgiving. So the biggest thing is just being thankful for reflect on the previous year and what you're thankful for, and that's pretty much it. It has nothing to do with
absolutely,
pilgrimage or anything like that. It just has to do with being thankful.
very good, excellent.
Nice.
That's why they call it Thanksgiving, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, turkey and ham is usually the main courses up here for that. At least in but all other cultures will incorporate something else. So, anyways, it was awesome. Family,
Good,
friends over. We had about
excellent.
30 people over and 30
Holy
family
cripes!
members over, and
Now, what do you
it was
guys
good.
do? Do you guys have the kids' table? Or do you have this one big long table or tables that are all put together and all different chairs get collected, and or do you have like the kids table over here, the adults table over here, people who don't want to associate with anybody else over here? I mean, how do you fit 30 people?
We did 3 tables. The kids, the teens, and then the adults. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it
Nice.
worked out well. Yeah.
I'm as you're talking, I'm just trying to think here in the clubhouse how we would do it. Like, where do we put Kyle? Would Kyle go to the kids table, or would Kyle, where do we reserve the chair for Kyle?
I think he would be outside with the dogs, but I'm not too sure.
Oh, that's
Love you, Kyle.
and I'm thinking Shaq and Greg. Where do you put Shaq and Greg, Norm, and Kyle at the same table?
they would be at the bar.
Do you think that'd be at the bar? But they're
Yeah.
gonna have to eat though.
Yeah, well, you can bring a plate to the
No,
bar.
no.
Yeah.
I said we're not gonna do no styrofoam clamshell stuff. No, let's just we're classy. We're gonna have a little class on Thanksgiving.
I
Is that
don't
right?
know. Norm
Um,
and Greg will end up fighting, and you don't want to breaking plates over each other's heads or anything. Just
you have to put them in different rooms so that you didn't
yeah.
have the food fight.
And then all of a sudden Norm would go outside and we wouldn't see him for a couple hours, and we'll sort of like
Yeah.
fox hunting. It's called Norm hunting.
You
We'll have to
see,
go find Norm.
the thing about American Thanksgiving is it's not really Thanksgiving, guys. You guys just have a feast before you go Black Friday shopping because you know you're not going to eat for 24 hours when you're shopping. That's come on. You
Dude,
got to get your
I
energy up so you can have those fist fights in the aisles.
only did
And
that once when the kids were sort of I only, but no, seriously, maybe I'm old school. I'm very there's a couple holidays throughout the year that are sentimental to me, and Thanksgiving is one of them because it is a true being thankful for good times, hard times, not such. I don't want to say bad times, but you all know where I'm going. It's just besides watching the traditional football games and having some traditional food, maybe there is a reflection time for me, whether it's getting ready or at the end of the day. I just sit down and I kind of like make that mental list, and I say what I'm thankful for. And it comes from my heart. So, and,
Well, enough about
anyway,
Canadian Thanksgiving. Let's let's see how everybody's week was. Joe Brett.
Joe Brett,
Hello.
hi.
You want me to speak?
Yeah, how was your week?
Man, it was great. It was it's Tuesday. Monday was really long. Oh, you sent me since last Tuesday. Yeah, it's been pretty good, man. I had a good weekend. Made it to another Tuesday. Can't complain.
Awesome.
Joe,
Yes.
Izzo.
Did you notice? Joe, did you notice how all the weeks end and why?
Why?
Exactly. Who created that and why? Why did they put Y's? Why did they use days? I'd love to know the origin of that. See what happens when I. You see what happens when I get an hour's sleep before the show and have a an ice cream.
Well,
Oh,
listen,
crap.
I'm last week. I didn't make it. Did I not make it last week? I don't think I made it last
No,
week.
you were painting.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
painting,
You were at your sister's.
and I was at my sister's. That's right, painting. And so I missed the show. I wish I was here, but you guys had a whole slew of people on. You had
Yeah.
Tio, you had Jim on from FEP Labs, you had Kyle, Alpha Zulu. You had everybody, the whole gang over. But yeah, since 2 weeks ago, man, just been busy, work, and I have an antenna down. I had to fix that. I guess the wind took it down. And not much else besides for that. Have you guys been on HF lately? Because I haven't.
Hey, before we begin, before we talk about that, we need to acknowledge somebody. He gave us a super chat.
Who's that?
Phil from across the pond. Phil,
Oh,
thank you,
yeah.
man. Thank you. We will thankfully acknowledge you. The treasurer will say thank you, and some lucky person in the future who wins something will. So,
And also, I believe that our friend Vern, number 6, has donated into the Buy Me a Coffee. We can't see that without Beer Snack, so I apologize to anybody that has gone to the Buy Me the Coffee. Until Beer Snack reports back, we don't see it.
mhm.
But we do thank you very much.
All right. Scout 75, what the heck have you been up to?
Oh, just it's getting into the busy time of year where I'm trying to get ready for winter and have fun outside. This last weekend I went on a little hike in Porta. The whole goal was to got one of these little spark plug antennas.
Ah, is that the 50 or the 100 water?
It's the 50 water. It's been sitting in my bag for almost a year now.
That's
And
your
I
backup to a backup antenna?
back up, and I just never got around to trimming the wires I made for it. So I brought that out. I got a length of wire for 40 meters. I put that up on the mast. I set this thing down. I got the mast where I wanted. I went to pick it up, and the cap was gone. The little
Oh,
thumb
no.
screw. I didn't even loosen it up. I just literally sat the thing down and looked away for 30 seconds and it was gone. I don't know if there's a squirrel that like shiny things or what, but
Let me tell you, they are grabbing nuts, so all over the place. Be careful.
yeah.
They'll
So,
grab anything.
but of course I had the pack tenna with me, so I got a nice little activation in. I had one of the QRP kits and it was just a nice day out. And I had an hour or two to kill before I had to be somewhere, so I just sat on a bench along the hiking trail,
Nice.
and I just hunted other parks, just get park to parks. And even with 5 watts, nothing breaks the pile up like saying park to park. You get through almost every time. I got Lou hiking in Hammond and Pink
Nice.
into logs. So it was
Nice.
a good time. So that's about it for this week.
Did you have a chance to do anything on between 10 meters, 12, 15, or 20 with these crazy, in a good way? I don't. Do we say band openings or would just say propagation
Yeah.
openings? So
Well, I got the antenna set up as the one of my linked half waves, and I started off on 20, and it was a little after 11 in the morning my time, so it was not much activity. So I just went to 20, and there are so many people on there besides the Parks on the Air activators. I think there's a California QSO party or something going on. There's an air, or was there a couple of, oh, there's some other activity going on. So there's, I probably couldn't find an empty spot to start calling CQ if I wanted to. So I just did it the old school way, just started dialing on the dial. And when I hear someone calling CQ, I just listen for a little while, see what their cadence is, and popping in the pile up. And
nice.
yep, enjoyed the views. It was a good day.
I was playing. We'll call it ping pong. I'm out here in the garage, and so this is So this is the off-center FED dipole, up about 35 feet. Downstairs in the shack, permanently mounted, is the DX Commander, and I've got 10, 17, 20, and 40 on there, and that's available throughout the entire year. Then winter cold days, I'll interface the off-center FED with the coax switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing a game, listening to 10 meters between 10, 12, 15, bouncing between the vertical and the offsetter FED. In order to do that, I was running from here to downstairs in the basement and back up again. And the kids were looking at me like, Dad's gone crazy. I'm like, bands are open. The bands are open. And of course, they don't know what that means. I said, I'll tell you later. I said, don't worry about the rubber room. We don't need it. We're good. And then they kind of peeked through the door here and they kind of saw what I was doing and they finally got it. But it was very
rubber room.
The rubber room meaning, when you're a little, cuckoo, when you're a little, when you want to fly over the cuckoo's nest, how do you, I want to be nice here.
Okay.
You don't have to be nice, but
Well, I was, a room
looking
full
for
of
the room for
Yeah.
rubber. Yeah, so you're bouncing around. So I wanted to see the difference between which is basically an NVIS 10-meter wire versus the off-center FED, and it was an interesting. It was very interesting about 1S unit or so difference, and it varied, but it was fun to listen and try to chase people, as well as everybody from US contacts to DX, and it was just it was fun. Um, and this weekend was just like between the QSO parties, the POTA people were out there. The guy from Hawaii, I was trying so hard. That's the only thing I have to work, as Molson would say, to get my participation trophy for Work All States Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, he was breaking. He was breaking above the noise level, and I'm like, it's gonna come. Just be patient. Just be patient. So I lit up a second cigar, and there I was waiting. And of course, the rules of POTA. If you can't hear them, you don't work them. That's not, what I mean?
Right.
And I was just, and then I just never got him past that noise level of, and I tried everything. Playing around with I'm notching this out. Do I throw some attenuation in there? Do I throw some preamp in there? But next time.
Was it that KD9 Tango Echo Zulu?
From Waikiki, Wah Peninsula, or wherever it was.
He's been. I after watching the video from Jeff K3J. Oh no, my mind's breaking. Get a camera on me. I can't think of my own friend's call sign. But he did a video a while ago where he explained how you can do more in-depth setups in Hamilton where you can actually look for states.
Yes.
So thanks to him, I finally got North Dakota and Hawaii by setting it up, looking for North Dakota and Hawaii, and then for POTA spots. and I still have it going up for Hawaii because I like to get a few more. But that Kilo Tango 9 or Kilo Delta 9 Tango Echo Zulus, he's activating quite a bit, so that's pretty cool.
He posted on Facebook, I think it was either today or yesterday, thanking everybody for all his. He listed all his stats.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very impressive. Very,
Yeah.
very impressive. I hope to work him again or somebody else over there on the islands. But Joseph Collins says he worked him on 4 bands. Joseph, congratulations. Nice job.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Nice
awesome.
job, Joseph. Nice. Nice.
Now, Izzo, with your testing, you're going between 2 radios, so there's going to be that variation too, right?
They're both
So
7300s. I have 2
Oh, yeah?
7300s. Yeah.
Wow, look at this guy.
Oh.
Wow.
And
What?
you run 10 watts all the time.
No, oh, you want to hear what happened?
Yes. What happened?
So yes, all right. So before I get too squirrely, calling squirrel here. Kyle was on Ham Nuggets last night, and I sent Kyle a private text yesterday, and I'm very serious. And I'm gonna say it again to the whole world here. Well, I got this quick soapbox. You guys know me. I'm kind of an old man when it comes to this. I don't understand this Node Red stuff. Okay. But I thought Kyle did an interesting job last night on T.O.'s show, and I highly recommend everybody. Even if you just want to sit back without your head falling off your head. No, I said that wrong. Without your head falling off your body. He did a great job, in my opinion, last night explaining this whole Node Red stuff. He did it in such a non-technical way that I was able to follow along. I thought it was great. So, and now I forgot what I was going to tell you, Molson. Yeah, I have 2 7300s. They're exactly the same. One was purchased maybe 3 years after the other, maybe 4 years after the other. Just hard work, overtime, you know.
You set them both up. They were both set up identical.
They're both set up exactly. So what I do is I came out here because I wanted. So basically, what I did is out here is basically my POTA station. Literally in 5 minutes, this is Anderson pole unplug, coax unplug, throw the lids on the gator box in the vehicle. We're off to go play POTA or whatever in the field. We'll call it field radio for whatever. The downstairs station is more permanently mounted. I mean, I could still take it if I had to. Just take me a few more minutes. Like nothing is behind walls. There's no serious dressing down there. You know, nothing yet. But that's the home. That's the shack. That is the shack with the memorabilia that I have. This was just set out here as a convenience, so I can go play, so I can hunt and go have a cigar because I don't smoke inside my house. That's how this kind of developed.
That's cool.
So but I always wanted to keep an antenna for downstairs all the time, and I chose the DX Commander, and it's just to me it's a great antenna. Yes, there's a difference between a vertical and a horizontal antenna, and both have their pros and cons and everything. So, but so.
Oh, by
Kyle,
the way,
Jim, hold on. Kyle's telling me thank you, Kyle. If I catch you making one more El Camino crack, because I told you I've never had an El Camino, and it was never my go-to vehicle. Never has. No disrespect to people who had them, but man, you are delusional. You've been spending too much of that. Maybe that no red RF has been getting in you. I love Kyle. I love Kyle.
I was not sharing
Catch
you.
catch out. Team replay from Monday night. You can see Kyle and T.O. show, along with Jim, FEP Labs. Jim was in there too. What's that, Molson?
See, I don't know what this is.
Did you build it?
No.
So
I finally got handles for all my doors and drawers inside my shack. It's 2 years. I got them for free, by the way.
Let me guess. In your bathroom, is your toilet paper on the roll, or in the holder, or you just sit it down because you haven't installed the holder yet for it?
Oh no, I have the holder. The
No,
question is, which way do you roll? You put the roll on the toilet. Like
Over,
that's the question.
like your paper
Over?
towels.
See, I
Over.
think it should go under.
Why?
I think it should go behind, because when you pull, it pushes it against the wall, and it slows it down so your roll doesn't unroll. But when you pull over top and you pull it, it free spins.
Is that a
Understand what I'm
Canadian
saying?
thing? Is that a VE thing or
Try
a
it.
VA?
Try it the next time. Try it the next time. When you have the toilet paper going over and you pull it, it pulls the arm away from the wall. If you have one of the ones with the arms, and it'll free spin. Where if you do it the other way and you pull, it pulls it to the wall, and the wall's like a brake. It's friction. I think it's better to go against the wall, especially when you have kids, so the roll doesn't.
Have you ever
Telling
been
you.
somewhere and you changed the direction because it bothered you, or you wanted to play a joke on somebody?
I'm not paying for the toilet paper. I don't care. There's a science behind my madness. I'm telling you.
As long as it
telling
comes out, as long as it's accessible, correct?
You know, one time I was out one time, and this couple I know, but there's a whole bunch of us, and they're going around the table saying, "Do you do the beehive?
Supposed to be
Do you
high.
do the when you wrap the toilet paper around your
Yeah.
hand? When you
Oh,
do like they're asking like the different ways to fold the whatever prep the toilet paper. They're like, do you bunch?
is it a
Do you
gender
fold?
thing? Is it a gender
I have
thing?
no clue, but it was when you're out eating supper and they're going around the table asking this question. I'm like, really? Like that? Nobody taught you manners? Like, you get a little nod at the table. I wouldn't ask that question in a million years. So, but yeah.
So what do you do?
Anyways.
There's some things
do
I
you
just
do?
don't want to know
Freak
about,
you.
person.
Thank you. I use the towel, do the dental floss,
The dental floss.
No, come on, don't ask that. But anyways, listen, I got all these handles for free, and so now I have 27 drawers I have to put handles on, and yeah. So if
That
this
should be
gets
done.
boring, if I start drilling holes into my drawer faces, it's because I'm
go.
bored.
No, go ahead. Don't worry about it.
No. So what's going on? I want to see what everybody's talking about. I roll my TP over my hands. Thanks, Kyle. Alpha Zero. Now I know you better.
He goes over his hand.
I have no clue.
I'm just trying to think how that works without getting too graphic here.
Some people have too much time to think. That is conversation topic. Dude, I'm telling you, it was the most awkward conversation ever. I'm like, leave me alone. Go away.
Please pass the mashed potatoes and the yams and the montego. And oh, by the way, how do you do your? Yeah, that.
Oh Lord. Next week's
Also
guest
just-
is watching the show, going, I don't know.
Well, next week we're supposed to have a phenomenal guest, but we won't say who in case they cancel.
Right.
You know
My
you know what's
audio's
fun?
really low. What the hell?
No, I don't think so.
Several people have mentioned that in the chat.
Is it possible it's their volume level?
We've got
Why don't
headphones
you-
on, so you sound fine.
Why didn't you say anything?
That sounds better.
Is that better? Is that better, Vern? Testing
Actually-
1, 2, 3.
Actually, that has a lot more punch now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me put my bass up and see if I sound like Joe Brett.
Yeah, it's all about the bass. It's all-
Why?
That's what that
how
girl
are you?
sang about.
How-
That's what the
how's it
girl sang
going?
about. That girl said it's all about the bass.
It's all about
Test
the
1,
bass.
2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
K5YVY.
599. Anyways, what were we talking about? So handles, toilet paper. Yeah. Yeah. Derailed the conversation. So no, but listen. So I got 500 handles given to me,
Oh wow.
and so
Wow.
I only need 27. But maybe I should make drawer faces out of drawer handles. How about that? We should try that.
Why don't we do
Oh,
this?
Giveaway.
Oh, I was just gonna
Do
say
a giveaway.
let's do a giveaway, but why don't you etch in something like Molson on there, or We Build We Learn, or Ham Radio Clubhouse? That'd be cool, man, and we'll give them away.
Hold on, somebody's telling me to do something. I started to edit a video the other day. I did. It's a miracle. I started to edit a video, and then I stopped. So it'll be another 6 months, guys. But I started. That's the point. That's the whole. Well, I started to edit a video, and then I saw that I had other footage. So it's good. It might be a good year. You might get 2 videos. It's good.
Oh.
Ed brings
So-
up a good question. Do you have different handles for the kitchen versus other rooms, or do you just use one standard?
What? Handles
Ed-
are handle. You can. There's all kind. You can use whatever handle you want to. It's all based on the design that you have.
I'm just saying though. Do you use in the Molson house?
No, they're not the same.
Okay. So different rooms have different handles because to accent the theme of that room. Then.
Yes, Don. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Interior designing with Molson. Hello, welcome
Yeah.
to.
Dude, there's a show. There's a show right there. Dude, that would be great. We can make millions on that. Someone call TLC, the Learning Channel, USA, and all whatever. Let's pitch a show.
No.
I'm still waiting for him and Beer Stick to make their part 2 for FT8 so I can finally get that set up and running.
Shut up. You know what? My FT8, it stopped working the other day, and I had to remember how to do it. Luckily, I didn't have to watch my own video, but I figured it out. But I have so many USB. I have so many USB keys coming from or cables coming from my computer that what was I doing? I was watching something, and it was my audio went all weird, so I had to rectify that.
Dude, I think Vern says it all right there. Interior design and Canadian dinner talk.
Nice.
Starring the Molson family. Dude, we could feature your wife in a segment, your kids, the dog, the cows.
Not the cows.
One show could be just you going over to help your sister. I mean, and winter time is coming up. You got to get the
man.
Yep.
you got to get the ice rink ready. The Zamboni.
Yeah.
This old house.
That's right. This old Canadian house. The Zamboni won't start. It's a trials and that's real stuff that we go through. Everyone goes through that stuff.
Oh,
That's why
yeah,
that'd
my
be great.
Zamboni doesn't start.
Yeah, that's a pain in the neck when that Zamboni. It's when you need it. All the neighborhood kids are over.
Yeah.
You're like the coolest guy. You're the cool guy.
These would be killer earrings. Somebody would pay $1,000 for these. Think about
A Kardashian.
Mr. T.
Mr.
it. Yes. Mr. T. Shane says if next week's guest doesn't cancel, we can announce it midweek. We'll announce it midweek. There you go. So,
If he's watching now, he's probably looking at his calendar for anything he can fill in there with it.
He's going to call his manager and say, "Get me a gig. I don't care where."
See, Kevin, Katie, and I, and TXI is correct. We film a lot of this stuff so we can go back and remember. So it's funny, but it
How
helps.
about this name for the show? Is that Mentor?
This ham house.
This ham house. That's great. I like that. Molson,
Yeah.
you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on bubbling crude. You got oil under there, and you're just, you know what I mean?
oh yeah, totally, 100%. Let me see. I'm gonna go. So yesterday we had the Thanksgiving dinner. I took 2 tables, put them side by side. Like almost like those rectangular tables that you can get, those fold out ones. You know what I'm talking about? They're like 8 feet by 30 inches. I took 2 of those and I put them side by side in my dining room. And we were able to fit 12 people around that. Okay. And it just fit perfectly in our dining room. It was nice. And we're like, you know what? We should get a table this size, maybe a little bit smaller. And then my wife's like, can you make one? Like a harvest table.
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
So I'm going to see right now, harvest table on YouTube. Harvest table.
Be careful what you put on there.
And dude, there's like great views on those kind of videos.
Last time I googled harvest, a whole bunch of farmer daughters girls popped up and all wearing those scanty plaid t-shirts, plaid shirts.
To build. Let's
There was
see. How to build a
Shaq and Greg.
How to build a harvest table. We have 47,000 views. We have 424,000 views. 279, 71. Dude, I'm gonna film. Ooh, that was a nice picture of that girl. There's a reason why that video has 3.2 million views. The thumbnail was spectacular. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, really? Once again, hey, what did Jason Ham Radio 2.0 always say? Your thumbnail is so important.
I'll screenshot it. I'll send it to you guys.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah.
Listen,
so
guys,
we'll
Vern's got to leave the clubhouse. Vern, just don't worry
See ya,
about
Vern.
Vern. Just push in your chair as always. Thank you, man. We always appreciate you coming in and everything. So, and if we say anything about you, we'll make sure that your ears are ringing. So don't worry.
Yep. Have a good night, Vern.
Liberty Cave is talking about some serious propagation here going on.
Propagation is great tonight on 17. I got Malawi. Wow. And Bang Wenny? Bang Wenny?
Dude, dude, you talked to China? Liberty Cave, what mode was that?
Let me see here.
10-meter been popping.
What does it look like, Joe, to you?
I don't know. I started out on 40. I'm gonna have to go up there and see. It's about the time the VKs are all on VKs and ZLs.
They were popping in. Was it what was last Sunday night? Around 11 o'clock, maybe 11 p.m. The J hiking and Hammond saying he heard a JA last night on 15 meters. Wow, see, there you go, guys. There you go.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, he was doing QRP using FT8 mode.
Oh, that's cheating. There you go. I just shared it so you can all see. All QRP on FT8.
All right, let's
Dude,
see
I'm
what
gonna turn this thing on.
Moses is talking about here. You have mail.
I put it in the general Clubhouse chat.
Okay, you have mail.
Why can't I hear anything?
General?
Let's see what's going on in the bands, guys. I want to see. You guys keep talking. I'm looking up radios.
What channel did you put it in? You said
General
general?
Clubhouse chat.
Well, I don't see it.
Go down a bit.
Is it the okay, in chat? Oh my, Molson. Molson, that needs to get built. Or is that already built? That's already built, hasn't it? That's not like IKEA where you got to put that thing together. That thing comes together.
Hey, why are you showing private chats there, Joe Brett?
Already in the pack.
Oh, my bad. I forgot I was had my screen. Oh well, here it is. Wait, I'm trying. I'm like Izzo.
Hey, Jody, happy Thanksgiving or belated Thanksgiving.
What a table.
And same thing to Michelle.
Oh, since
Canadian viewers. So
I just bought it. It'll be here. Amazon says it'll be here tomorrow.
there is Izzo.
What's it?
Joe
That's
Brett.
not. Oh my God! Where'd y'all get that picture?
Can't tell you.
Send that to me, please. That's nice. Send that to me.
All right.
See, my buddy Mo knows a good table when he sees a good table.
Lindsay Hicks says, still don't see a table. Anyways, let's talk about something. I have 2 LED yard lights that I bought outside, and I gotta take this image down. I can't focus. And they're both burnt. I've had them about 4 years. I gotta open them up and change the power supplies inside of them. But we were talking about that today because at work we changed all our shop lights are all now these LED fixtures, fantastic LED fixtures. And remember when LEDs came out? They were saying 100,000 hours. Remember that?
Yeah, years, 5 to 6 years. You don't never have
now it's like now they all say 30,000 hours. Do you realize that? When you go look at lights and stuff like that, now they say 30,000 hours.
I avoid the
Nobody-
first thing I say is probably it could possibly not justify, but I say it anyway. Interference. That's the first thing I say. Interference. RF interference.
So my LED yard lights, they do cause RF interference. Like, I know if one of the kids turns the yard light on.
Maybe I'm being prejudiced.
I'll be down here. I'll yell up, shut down the yard light. You know. So let me see here. I'm looking. Yeah, I used to sell LED lights, and everybody's like 100,000 an hour. Not anymore. Not anymore. Let's see here. The ones
Jim
I
from
bought.
FEP Labs, thank you, brother. I appreciate the picture. That's awesome. That is awesome. I may have to use that on my social media. See, you guys are awesome with these whatever you're doing the stuff as PDFs and changing them out and swapping, adding this picture, drop it in, doing that, man. I wish I could just spend some time and do that.
So
I can
Ben,
do some of that stuff on the computer, but we got a guy at work that just sits there and does it on his phone. And anyway, go ahead.
Shane does that for us sometimes. Remember we saw his talents back at Christmas time, and he had all the elves and he put all our faces in. I'm like, that Shane is talented. He says, no, it's easy. I said, you're still talented.
So Ben, Aussie Ham Radio wants us to talk about Sun SDR versus the Flux Radio. I don't know enough about either.
You better bring Kyle in, at least Kyle or what's his name?
How can you not know about that?
SKT may be another good guy.
SKT and you know what? Bring them both on and let them go at it. The Flux got hacked by the Russians.
I don't even know what the Sun SDR2 is. I'm so far behind.
It's an SDR.
Dude, my friend keeps on texting me about these flat Earth stuff. Unbelievable.
You're right, Shane. SKT
so
does have both.
You and Ape's talking on the
Shane.
phone now.
What's that?
You and Ape's talking on the phone now?
No, man.
Oh.
Ape has a phone. Last time I saw the man had a flip phone.
That's how they track you, son.
Right. That's why he still has an Nextel.
So this weekend, what was your furthest contact? The bands were open. What was your furthest contact that you made, Izzo?
Azores, maybe Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, nice.
Some stuff over in Europe. I was fooling around. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. So last night, KAMRD goes to his fun, traditional Poda Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm calling him, and I'm calling him, and I'm calling him. I'm like, what? You know, and when you can hear the hunters, I'm like, what is going on? Of course, what do? I walk outside to make sure the antenna is still there. Like, you know, like that's going to make a difference. You know, it's sort of like when your car breaks down on the highway and you're not a mechanic, but you open up the hood to make it look like you know what you're doing to try to find something obvious. I finally work him. He's like, Izzo, you're 4'1", but don't worry about it. Mike, you're 5'7". You know, you're 5'5". Don't worry about it. Contact's a contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
He texts me about a half hour later, and we're talking back, and we're going back and forth. I pushed the power level. I was only at 30 watts because I was chasing everybody on 30 watts over the weekend, basically. Even our buddy James, Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, Mr. Podaman. I caught him late last night. All of a sudden, once again, I had to take James out of my ham alert. I don't need ham alert for James.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta,
he's the 40-meter beacon for
he is
West Virginia. He's always
he
on.
is. And when I feel like the back of my neck go like that, James is out there. James is out there. And you turn on the radio, or you go to the POTUS spotting page, and sure enough, there is. And I caught him spotted like 53 seconds, according to the timer. I said, I'm going to see if I can work this guy in the first, 10. Nah, forget it. There's people already ahead of me.
Sure.
It's like the deli counter. It's like Black Friday. It's like being at the cashiers in the cashier line for Black Friday. Get in line and just wait your turn.
My question for you is, like, you said while you're doing all your hunting, you had the rail down to 30 watts. Was that because you're outside on battery power and you want to last longer,
No,
or
no, just wanted to fool around.
okay, just seeing what you can do? Just
Yeah,
yeah,
I love taking that 7300.
yeah.
Now I love my 705. There'll be sometimes when I sit out here and I'll just be strictly 10 watts on that 705.
Mm-hmm. Because
So
I've done the opposite, because like if I'm hunting, I try to have as much power as I can so I get through, and I'm not constantly calling, so I got that reserve. But oftentimes, like if I'm out on a POTA and I got my 891, I'll start off at 100 watts or 80 watts just so I get myself out there. Then once I start getting a pile up, or I get a little bit of a pilot, then other people can hear those calling. Then I dial it back down to like 30 watts just to conserve my battery, and
right.
I don't need to be generating that much. So I was just wondering
No,
if what your theory
I'll
was.
tell you what I do, and I'm not saying it's the way it just seems to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be on 30 watts, 20, especially 10 watts or less, you can have the greatest antenna. Okay. And then it starts coming down to the technique, because I will listen to that. And let's use James as an example. He always, again, for me in Connecticut, West Virginia, James, unless James goes up to 20 meters where I really can't hear him because we're too close, but we'll stay on the 40-meter band. James is anywhere from a 5.7 to 40 over, depending on propagation, the time of the night, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But if he has a lot of big stations calling him, I'm not even going to bother to key up. Guess what
Yeah.
I'm going to do? I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And I'm just going to wait.
Yep.
Let all the big guns, let them work all the big guns.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You know,
I've done that too when, Hamler goes out and one of my friends is out. It's typically just like that. It'd be this time at night when 40 is opening up and you can get around, and you get there and there's all these big channels and stuff. He's got a pile up going. I'll just leave the radio on, go back and mess with something in the shack or read a book or something. And when it dies down, then I hop on, because
will
if a
you
pile
also
up that
go?
big, they're not going anywhere. So
Will
just
you
be
hunt? Will you
patient.
go hunt someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that too, and I'll come back and there's James, and now it just becomes the technique of, do I wait like a couple of seconds and let everyone get out there, throw their call sign, and I quickly throw mine in, and hoping he's going to catch even a partial of me,
Yeah.
and
I try to keep it with the flow, because for whatever reason the tailgaters now are starting to annoy me, because
I like that term, the tailgaters. See?
you'll see it where people call CQ and it'll be a big blast like this, and all of a sudden now it just goes on, and I know some people like that, and some people, when they're ready to pile up, they'll actually say spread it out a little bit, and they're sharp enough where they'd be able to get like 2 or 3 partial call signs and work from that. But for me, it just like nails on a chalkboard for me.
I will get on a rant here for a second. I don't understand. You ready, Molson? What grinds my gears is the term "spread it out." How can you tell a group of people that you don't really have? They're not like we're all on the football field 100 yards from each other. You don't know where these people are. How do you tell them to spread it out? There's no coordinated effort.
Mm-hmm.
No.
If you're directing traffic, like at a motor vehicle accident with my fire department, I'm a part of the division called the fire police. We stop traffic. We let one lane go. Again, you are the traffic cop. You are in control. That is a controllable thing that you can do.
Yep.
But on amateur radio, there really is no, hey guys, let's all be nice. Can we spread it out for me? If someone can come up with that, you give me that, and then I want the numbers for the next Mega Millions, and I'll share my winnings.
Yep. I think, and that goes back to James and Mike Kadam, RD, and other good pull operators, is they will make control of their pileups, where they'll have their cadence, and end it however they end it, where they say QRZ or QRZ parts on the air, or they just stop at 73. They keep consistent, and if people start, trying to budge in when they're not ready, they'll call them out, and they'll keep it nice and tight. Where some people will just let the pileup take control of itself, and they lose control. And I come across those while I'm hunting, and it's just chaos. And I'm like, again, it's
I
like
like
nails
Jesse.
on. Yep, I just move on. Don't waste my
I like
time.
Jesse's comment. Or one time at a police. I
Yeah.
think a few times I felt like I was Kyle screaming, saying, you know how Kyle said when he's good, Kyle goes to his scream room to say, "Stop saying please copy."
Yep.
That really gets me. But I understand. Listen, we all do it differently. I
Oh
respect
yeah.
everybody. You know the golden rule: just be a good operator. How you activate your thing, that's on you.
Yep.
I learned a technique. Well, I should say I learned. I chose to follow a technique. Her name is Carrie, KB3WAV.
Yep.
And I learned this a long time ago, and but it works for me. So we all do what works. And I can hear her. I know she's writing down or she's memorizing sequences. She'll hear FYG, she'll hear NJJ, she'll hear VYE, she'll hear SDO, and then she'll stop it. She's okay. The FYG station, go ahead.
Yep.
Boom, 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 and then she'll take some more. She keeps things going, and again, for me, I like that. And I actually like it when an activator does that.
Yep.
How these activators are doing it, how I call it the plucking.
Oh,
I don't know. They're plucking out that one station that they heard. But if that's how they want to do it, go for it.
Yep.
Go for it. Because in the end, this is not the contest. In my
Right.
opinion, this is not a contest. There were some people on Facebook today were complaining about this, complaining about that, and I wanted to get on in the comment section saying, guys, really, this is a hobby. Who cares about what QRZ says, and who cares about this one? This is a hobby. This is about having fun.
For me, you bring up contesting. I don't do much contesting. I like the 13 colonies and stuff, and once in a while, if there's a lot of activity on state QSO parties, I'll join in too. But whether it's that or summits on the air, parks on the air, when I'm doing the hunting or the chasing, for me, I don't rush into it. I take the hunting like hunting. I'll be patient about it. I'll listen in for a while, like you're saying before, just to make sure that you can hear them well. And then I take a point to listen to see how they're running their pilot, what their cadence is, what their order of operations is. And for me, it's just a respectful way to do it. It's like you said, everybody calls CQ differently. So, be a gentleman or a lady about it and listen to what they're doing, be respectful, and then follow in. And I think if you get further, if you take the patient approach to get in, instead of just throwing out your call and try and get as many contacts as you can. If you're a little more scientific about it, I think you'd have much more luck, whether you're doing contesting or DXing or whatever, besides parts on the air.
I like the fact too. Sometimes, if the pilot, especially again, I'll use James as the beacon. When James is running his pileup, I always hope I could hear the hunters, because then that gives me a perspective of where we really are with band conditions in the moment. Now, granted, James and I were probably about maybe 400 miles away from each other. I think maybe 500 miles away. Somewhere between there, give or take a yardstick. But it's nice to hear what I'm able to hear, and then I'll decide how do I want to work James. Do I want to work with 100 watts? There's been many times I've worked James with just 20 watts. Hey, Izzo, you're 5'9". I didn't even bother to tell him I'm QRP. But there have been other times when I worked him QRP, and he'll say, "Hey, Don, you're a little weak tonight, but I still got you in." Yeah, that's because I'm only running probably 5 to 8 watts. I just didn't tell you.
Well, Izzo, you touched on it when you said yardstick. Did you know that there's only one manufacturer in the U.S. that's still making the wooden yardsticks?
No.
Yeah, and they're not making them any longer.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Where's Shaq and Greg? Where's Kyle? Where's Uber Geek?
Joe Brad, how are you getting out there? I'm hold on, I want to see Joe Brad's map. Yeah, you look similar to me.
He's
I'm
playing
not
that.
getting Australia.
He's playing that computer radio.
Yes, yes.
Listen, you can multitask. Just imagine if like your wife hates the fact you play radio, you can still play radio and talk to her. See?
Yeah, with that SDR app on the iPhone, I used to sit on the couch and I was playing FT8, and she thought we were spending
Are
time
you
together.
serious?
Yeah,
You're sitting in the lazy boy, just kind of making contacts.
yeah. I got to
Nice.
charge that tablet back up so I could do that again. I forgot all about it.
That FT8 has not bitten me yet. I don't know why.
It's not my favorite, but
I don't know why.
sideband is voice is my
Yeah.
go-to. But
I've messed with FT8 probably half dozen times. I've yet to make a contact. I don't think I got it set up right, and I don't have the patience for it.
It's easy to do. You know what I didn't check? I never checked if I stopped sending it to the reporting. I still enable it to the FT8 contest. Someone's
think I
getting
did
my
too.
log. What the heck's with this guy?
You're going to get a participation trophy?
Student right I am.
You got to put it on the wall?
We got to come up with our own contest, guys. We got to come up with our own. We talked about that. We have an idea. And we need Alpha Zulu, Alpha Zulu. Get your butting gear and help us out, buddy. So, anyways.
I have something that I was going to use with Jason, Ham Radio 2.0. And if you want, I'll contact him and say, hey, listen, we want to maybe use it for Clubhouse. If you don't, it's been sitting in up in the cloud. We discussed it very, very lightly, probably about 2 years ago. If he doesn't want to use it, he says, no, you boys use it. I kind of made it for him and a few other people close to him, kind of a fun ham on the air.
Whoa,
You know.
you can have fun on the air.
Yeah, who can? I do. And guess what? There's only been a few times, Joe Brett, when I haven't had fun. And you know what I did? I either turned the VFO or I turned it off. I'm not one of these people who get on and start swearing and being disrespectful and tuning in audio 5 and start hitting that tuner button. I heard that this weekend. I couldn't believe it. The other night, was it maybe last night, 14.300, the Maritime Net was going on, and some guy was right there. I'm like, come on. Really? Be a better operator.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say, Izzy, do you listen to the Maritime Net often, or?
When I come across it, I don't specifically look for it, but if I come across it, and again, I like to hear where everybody is coming from.
Yeah.
Was that a pun? Was that a pun, Izzo?
What?
You don't pacifically?
Specifically.
You know, okay.
What?
So
someone just went over my. Someone just went over what? What's specifically? You know, indeed, I don't.
I heard pacifically. You know, like the Pacific.
Yeah, I have a problem with that word.
I've listened into it a handful of times, but I've yet to hear a ship check in or anything. I mean,
I have never heard a ship check in. I never heard, hey, this is Bruno on the SS so-and-so. Can you contact Tina and let her know we'll be in port in 3 days and I got the pineapple she ordered.
Yeah.
Never heard any kind of traffic like that.
Or at least a ham on vacation on a Carnival cruise line or something, you know. It's always guys in the Midwest. Like,
3,000 miles away from any water.
Yep. But
hey, maybe they're all trying to contact Sealand for crying all out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a station up on Sealand. We're gonna have a darn good tootin'. Maybe we'll have a. Just trying to think, what's the best radio to put for the Sealand station? Do we just get a Maestro?
The Sun SDR.
So you don't want to do that?
I don't know. we gotta conquer the island first. That's the first objective. Hey, listen. So this winter's coming, and I was outside this weekend doing some cleanup. It's time to get the winter antennas ready. Are you guys doing an antenna work before the snow falls, or what's the story?
I did mine already. You know what I did?
You
I
did?
looked at it. Swear to God. I thought, okay, on the DX Commander with the ground with all the ground wires, I thought my son or I caught one of them with the lawnmower,
Oh
but
yeah.
but we didn't. But all I did was I just straightened them all. There were a couple of them that kind of like went more towards the pole. I just stretched them all out. Everything looked good.
Well, I put
go
up
ahead.
my winter receive antennas, right?
Oh, you did.
No, I have to.
Oh, you
So
have to. Okay.
You
I
have
put
seasonal antennas.
I do.
All
The
right.
winter time, I can use some of my fence lines and do some receive antennas, some
Nice.
beverages and loops.
Beverages.
All right.
So
That's one thing I've been wanting to put out is like the loop on the ground always seems like a easy one to set up, obviously, and be good for receive. But how would one of those work when you get a foot of snow on it? I take it won't work at all.
it'll work.
I bet you it'll work great.
Yeah,
work?
it'll work fine. Yeah.
Oh.
The biggest thing is like so I found that it takes a lot of COVID. It takes a lot of
Man, don't give it to us.
I think that's a ladybug went down my throat. Anyways,
Make sure the plexiglass over here is okay.
Did you assume that
Yeah.
bug's gender?
Sorry. I think it's a question of so yeah, it works fine, the receive antennas. The biggest thing, it can be misleading, right? So your noise floor is going to go down 100%, but so is your receive strength. So a lot of times you have to have a good preamp on your radio, or you can put an external low noise preamp. To some degree, it's subjective. It's like any antenna. The first time you plug in most antennas, you're optimistic. You're like, I think it's better. You know, sometimes you'll get like a huge difference. Like you'll notice right away a big difference in your noise floor, but your signal strengths will be down. Like there are some signals I wouldn't hear on my beverage, but I'll hear them. And you're gonna get lower bands, right? Like it's not really good for me. It works really well for like 80 meters. 160, 40, but 20 is not great. So you do need to have a good preamp on it, and you have to do tests, and you will notice a difference. Like I put a video out where I compared. You definitely notice a difference.
Yeah.
But
I remember that video. It's
Yeah.
good. You should keep making them. But yeah, my idea with the log is I got a pretty big yard. I got about an acre and a half, 2 acre yard. So I got plenty of room to just put it out wherever and just stake it down with the landscaping stakes and let it go in.
Yeah.
But I just, I get a foot or two of snow every winter. I wonder if it just only be good during the summer if that snow would insulate the signal or anything.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll definitely be fine. So I don't think you're gonna have an issue with it. And, don't forget, like the other thing is like, for instance, the ground is an integral part of your antenna, right? Like especially when you do a beverage, the ground it plays into it, and so I don't think you have to worry about the interference from snow at all. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the results. It's so easy to do. The biggest thing is like there's a limit. Like I have the book. I'll see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. And there's a limitation. There's a point where there's no advantage in your 2 acre. In your 2 acres, you're not gonna exceed. But there's no sense in putting out like there was one time people were talking about tapping into a railroad. Like a railroad.
Yeah, I've seen those things, or a barbed wire fence slung up.
Right.
Yeah, well, a barbed wire fence is one thing, but if you have 5 miles of railroad, it's not going to do anything for like it's.
Yeah, you get diminishing returns. It's just,
Yeah, and so well, it actually starts to be counterintuitive. If you want to do a log, there's a formula that you can use to. I think it's 1005 divided by the frequency in megahertz. I can look it up. I have the book here somewhere. And I will tell you what your wire is resonant at. Hold on a second. You guys talk. I'm going to look for the book.
all right.
Ooh.
Well, I was talking to you, but okay.
Yeah. we build, we
Well.
learn, we find.
You walk away from the conversation, but all right.
But he can still hear us. He can
Yeah.
still hear us.
Oh, I hear you.
No,
Hey?
it's because that did pique my interest last year when you built that beverage antenna around your garden fence or wherever it was, and I don't have a fence or anything.
That piqued my mind too.
And
but
I thought about doing like what Joe Brett did and run it through the trees, but then your counterweights and all that stuff, and I'm lazy. I just want to put something on the ground and be done with it.
You need to talk to Steve or go back, and I think you were on those shows maybe about a month or so ago when Steve was. That's all Steve has done. Nothing special. Right outside the shack on the ground. That's it. Not it's not 2 feet above the ground, 3 feet, whatever. Just laying it on the ground.
Well, you're gonna get if you suspend, like, Joe. What are you putting on yours? What's your transformer on yours that's suspended?
4-to-1 with a 1-to-1 choke.
Yeah, when you did it, did you do a test and an analyzer on that antenna?
Nope.
So it should be, if depending on it should be 100 ohms on that for that antenna. So like a loop, like a horizontal loop, just the way the wire interacts with each other. If I remember correctly, it should be 100 ohms, and that's it. So you need a 2-to-1 on that for that antenna.
Some people don't even use a balun on a loop.
Yeah. Well, it's so, especially on receive, you don't need it, right?
1-to-1s, 2-to-1s,
Yeah,
9-to-1s, 4-to-1s.
Yeah, if you're not going to be transmitting on it, you're not worried about SWR or anything.
You don't want it. That's the whole point. You don't want to transmit it on. So.
Yeah. But let me see if I can find it. You guys talk. Talk.
Okay.
We ignore, we learn.
James has not left. James has not left for the Pota Park yet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I can't.
Look at him going through those pages.
Yeah,
I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's 1005 divided by the frequency in megahertz. That'll tell you how long you need your wire to be resonant. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of different configurations too. There's one where you can do a like a triangle, like a diamond shape, and you tap into it on the point, one of the apexes.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
Yeah, and that one's directional if you have it open on the end. So you have, this is by memory, so I'm going to get a bunch of sad ham OMs saying something, but if you do the diamond shape, I believe it's open at this end, and you put your connection, your coax at this end, it's directional, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so it'd be kind of like a hex beam then.
Sort of, yeah. Somewhat.
SKT
maybe.
wants us at some point to go over to TO's channel to listen to some individuals about receive antenna. So there you go.
Oh, I remember that one. Thanks, Don. I'll go back and look at that again.
You mean the one that's E upper scale at T equals 4S? Yes, I love that video.
Was he really a jerk? Who was it?
Yeah, SKT. Who was it? Oh, it's SKT talking about it. Oh,
yeah, SKT was on it. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if I want to hear about receiving antennas from the hamstick salesman. No, SKT is super smart. Super smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, no, anyways, receive antennas is a huge amount of fun. They're so simple to do. Just need wire, and it's so fun to experiment with them. And the only thing is, like I said, is they can be subjective. You have to be really, really objective in your analysis, and it takes, over time, you'll really be able to tell what the advantage is. What I love about like my 9200 is the 920, sorry, the FT920, is I have a receive port. So I have antenna A, antenna B, and a receive port that's only receive, and that's nice. So you can listen, and you don't transmit on your receive antenna. Where for me on my 950, I don't have a receive port, so I'll have antenna port 1 for my receive and antenna port 2 for my transmit, and so that's the nice feature about the 920.
So when you're operating, Daniel, seriously, give us the So how do you operate them? Because you don't want to you mute one when you go to transmit.
Well, so sometimes I use the two radios at the same time because I have different antennas hooked up to different radios. I don't have
Hmm.
an antenna switch, so
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Okay.
no, I just use the antenna's internal switcher, and so the radio's internal switcher. So on my 920, I have my inverted V, and I'll put like one or two receives on that sometimes, and I'll have my two end feds on my 950. It's not the most, whatever, but what the nine I like using the 950 to transmit, and the 920 just because it has the receive. The only problem when you use a different rig is you have to, if you're going to transmit, you turn the volume down. So if I'm just messing around, I'll do it like that. Like if I'm not really making contacts, I'm just listening and kind of analyzing. If I'm if I'm making contacts and I really want to use my FT 950 and my receive, sometimes I play with the split, like my VFO-A and VFO-B, and I'll just have each one on different antennas. And if I'm on a band that my receive is working really well, I'll transmit on antenna 2, and I'll have VFO-B for my receive, and I'll have that on the end fed on the receive antenna. It all depends. I got it. Using two radios to try and do contesting, or you can't because you have to make sure you don't blow out your front end on your radio when you're using the other antenna. So it all depends what I'm doing.
Yeah,
It all
That's why,
depends.
yeah.
So that's another
Yeah.
reason why I'm looking into doing this, because I was gifted this old what is it here? It's like Kenwood 570S that I've never hooked up because when I got it I was given to me, I was just doing portable stuff. I didn't have anything set up in the house. Now I got the 991 that I use for HF in the house. This has just been sitting here, but it has like I think it has a receive only port on the back, but at least has two antenna ports on the back. So I could probably set up two listening antennas with that switch back and forth, and then do all my transmitting on the 991.
Yeah, it's and when you leave your other radio on and you transmit, you sure as hell hear it. You know it. I'm surprised I haven't because it's so,
It's a wake up call, isn't it?
it's a wake up call. So actually, like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
there's so many. I can't say that I've set up one way or like sometimes I just use my 920 to do contacts, and I haven't used my 950 because it's just so much. The 920 has a great setup with the two antenna ports and the receive. I should get some switches, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get some antenna switches, and I need to improve that whole different because I got 1, 2, 3, 4 HF antennas, and then I add on 2 receive antennas in the winter, and I want to get an 160 meter end fed half wave up before the winter, so as a flat top. So we'll see. Yeah, we shall see. But it's always a pain in the ass because if you have too many antennas, it's not good. Like if you're switching around trying to hear like which antenna do I pick these people up best on, then you end up losing the complete, like you take too long, right? So yeah, you really have to get to know, and that's where I sit and I test a lot and I evaluate what antenna works for directionality, even though some of them aren't supposed to be directional. Like the receives aren't supposed to be the way they're set up, but they still are. They're always directional in one way or another. I spend a lot of time assessing them so that I don't waste time when it's actually I'm trying to do a contest or trying to make QSOs and switch around, because it's always like, even if you like what's it called, you have to, like, for me, I have to analyze it and just stick with it because you'll always be like, maybe I'll hear him better on this antenna, and then you fumble around, try and do your connections, and then you just waste time. So you have to analyze it beforehand. Don't second guess yourself and just do it. But that's my 2 cents.
See, I'm back here wearing the antenna switch out.
Yeah.
Now, Molson, have you been on 160 before?
Yeah.
What's your opinion of the band? How would you describe the band?
Friendly band.
It's fine. Like I've only been on a couple times. Like I don't know.
No,
maybe
but
I
like
can say-
I mean, obviously it's a winter band, obviously, or It seems to be more
Well,
prominent in the wintertime.
yeah, absolutely.
But what I'm getting at is I've never heard some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Bad habits on the other bands as I have between 60 and 160 and 17 meters. I have never heard any type of nonsense, bad operating. Everybody has always been very, very nice. You want to jump into a conversation, you can jump in. No one's gonna take it as if, hey, listen, me and the boys are just sitting here and we're just pull up a chair and join us. It's always been very a gentleman's band.
Well, 160.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The only time I've ever gone on there is two or three times.
Do you think that's because you have to put a lot of effort to get on that band in the first place? Because you need to put some effort into building that antenna or getting that antenna set up.
Well, you also had to get some effort. You had to put some effort to get your license.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Some people I don't think took the test of putting the square peg into the square hole.
Right.
But on 160, I've always heard some great. And when I go to listen to 160, I'm listening to it on a 80 meter or 40 meter antenna. So I'm not even listening in it on a true resonant antenna. But it's just fun to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start saying, I wish I had some means of getting on the band. Even maybe something compromised may even be better. Better than nothing.
But sometimes, if you have a good tuner, sometimes you can really push it. Like I remember, my first antenna was given to me was a G5 or V Junior, right, which is supposed to be up to was it 40 meters that one?
40 meters, yeah, 40.
Yeah, I was able to push that to 80, and which was not supposed. I was able to tune that to 80, and I think I might have tuned that to 160.
You know something, Molson? You gave me a good idea because I got two ICOM tuners. I may just do that this winter then. I just might do that.
Listen,
I like how you think.
I have the MFJ Versa tuner that I used, and that sucker can tune anything.
Right.
There's no issues with that one.
No, I got two tuners. Yeah, I got two of them.
Yeah. The biggest thing I don't like about like my AC radios is that they're only can like tune. I think it's like 2.5 or 3 to 1, right? Like, so sometimes I've had to use my old radio, my IC725, because I don't want to reconnect everything just to make a contact if I wanted to push it. Like I think there was a one year. I think the what's it called there? That 13 Colonies was on 160. I think one time.
Really?
Yeah, just to get it to work, I think I had to torque it over to make sure it tuned. I had to check what my contacts are on 160. Let me check. You guys carry on. Let me check.
Well, you guys are doing that. I'm gonna go to my tuner that I have.
What do you have?
Oh, I have an AH4. And then I have an AH705.
How do you like that?
Oh my God.
Does it work well with the 705?
Yeah. I was running a mat tuner. I had no problems with the mat, but I wanted part of the investment of the package.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys buy radios, they keep them, then they turn them. Not me. I hold on to things. I'm sentimental like that. If I like something, I'm holding on to it.
Right. Where to go?
41 incoming.
I don't know
Yes.
if our buddy Shane, if brother Shane is at work and he wants to work us from the network operations center.
I just love how he sits there at
Yeah.
work and he's like poking all these ideas. I mean, I appreciate it.
Or maybe he's inside the executive bathroom again, and he's coming up with some good ideas while he's sitting down, probably looking at the toilet paper, seeing if it's going over or if it's going under.
Because that's to get back to that 705 tuner. That's something I kind of looked at because when I first got into portable, I had that Xiegu 5105 with that built-in tuner, and the only antenna I had was a 9-to-1 random wire. And that was, I really like that setup because that wire was so short, it was easy to pack around and easy to get up into a tree. You don't have to get them very high. So
No,
it,
you
it
don't.
was, and then it was a nice little setup because you could get on the air quick. You can hop bands without changing anything or worrying about SWR because that tuner was so nice. So I thought about getting a tuner, a small tuner for portable work, so I could use that 9-to-1 again. I've been looking at that because that'd pair nicely with my 705. Or else I was looking at getting those MFJ manual tuners, but because they got one that's pretty cheap, it's just a tiny little
The
thing.
tiny ones, yes.
Yeah. Do you have any experience with those as well? Or anyone?
A long, long, oh, I want to say a long, long time ago, I learned off of using the MFJ manual tuners,
All right.
and then all
Well,
of a sudden,
that's what I
all-
have over
and
there.
then all of a sudden, the boys from LD, oh, I'm gonna screw up their name. I don't
LDG.
want to.
Yeah.
LDG came along.
Yep.
I still have, and I do it. And I took a picture. I sent it down to the boys. One of their original tuners that they came out with back in the mid '90s. I knew nothing about an automatic. Push the button and call it a day. Peak for receive, then do this. Da-da-da-da. You know, I guess we just like to play with knobs, don't we? And MFJ is, taught us that, and I think everybody should probably learn off that too. You know,
Yeah, so Shane, that's what I have over on my other. That's what I started out with was the Versa tuner, which is the manual tuners.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy and like you can force anything down. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good. I think it's better than the internal tuners. Like it's more powerful than the internals on my two rigs here. That's for sure. So, but the I'm not too sure. Like I was looking at you guys. Like the tuners, besides for the the 90 there, what was it? The one from oh shit, the G90 is it? That radio?
G90, yeah, the
Yeah,
G90
the G90, which is supposed to be you can tune anything. Are all rigs pretty much a 3-to-1 or 2.5-to-1?
internal, I think so.
I think
Yeah.
most, yeah, I think the most of the ones that I've seen are 3-to-1.
Yeah, 3-to-1. Seems
Uh,
to be about that threshold of.
Yeah. But the Zygus, the G90 and the 5105 and I think the 6100, they're like 10-to-1 or something like that, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. they're all what's it called? They're interested. They have all like So like when you do the manual tuning, you're adjusting all the what do you call it there? Joe Breck, come on, help me out there. You guys all know it's all the discs there, and you
Capacitance.
adjust it.
Capacitance and inductance, I think.
The things.
Yeah, but
Good
it's
thing.
I know it's capacitance and inductance, but the actual the mechanism inside, right? You're
Yes,
turning that
correct.
knob. And then when we looked at the X6100 videos with TO, you see like they have like all these different series of toroids, or they're all stacked up, and it's like preset different setups that you switch between. I believe it is what it is, and that's pretty neat. But I wonder how exact of a tuning you can get, because I'm pretty sure it's like choosing different options, like different layouts. Do you know what I'm
Jody
saying? Like
says Jody says it right here.
roller
Molson. Roller
inductors.
inductors.
Let me see
And
if I can find a picture to show you.
Molson, I wish my grandfather was still alive. He would sit you down, and this is the man who built them. He built them back in the '40s and all the way up, until he passed away back in the early 2000s. Again, back in the day where they didn't have any money, they built their own, and they called them matchboxes. They weren't called tuners. It was called the matchbox.
Matchbox.
The matchbox, because you were matching the antenna to the radio. And basically, what you're doing is obviously you want that impedance level to get as close to the 50 ohms.
Yeah.
But yeah, roller inductors, and I do remember. And guys, if there's anybody in chat who can verify with me, something to do with the quality of that inductor. I think maybe about the thickness. It had to do with how much power you were going to run through that matchbox, through that tuner, would determine the quality of the material that you wanted to use. What's that, Joe Brett? What do you got there?
I'll be back, guys.
Mako.
Mako. Never heard of it.
Mobile antenna matcher, tunable, 300 watts.
Yeah, every once in a while, I remember back in the '90s when I got into my first HF mobile station. There was a whole bunch of those you'd see at the flea markets, and of course back then we didn't have the internet back in '93, but they were trying to market these smaller, just like what Scout wanted, for portable use, mobile use, to be able, for your HF station on the go, in the vehicle, whatever.
Well, last week I mentioned I had some pretty neat 11-meter stuff up on my shelf from my late uncle, and how he wraps everything in plastic. And
Right.
I'm almost convinced that this is brand new in the box, just new old stock.
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
And because not only because it has no scratches, but
that darn box looks to be in great condition.
It's got the registration card still in it.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
So
sign it in, see what happens.
Yeah.
Are they still around, Joe?
Warranty.
Are they still around?
Mako, yeah, I think so.
Take a picture, send it to them. Really, they like, companies like that stuff. They really appreciate that stuff. Eventually, that gets to the president or somebody in there who's been around for a while. Because I love hearing the backstories of some of this product.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Here you go.
Tuning instructions. Oh.
That paper looks to be in darn good shape too.
Yeah, I better quit messing with it, huh?
No. You may want to maybe laminate that one, or eventually, so it doesn't get But heck yeah, save that piece.
Yeah, it's just took care of stuff.
Yeah. Looking good, Joe. Those female
Matchbox. I knew I had a Matchbox up there.
Right, and I never understood how the origin of how we go from Matchbox to tuner, or maybe, who knows, maybe a bunch of guys say, hey, we're tuning the antenna, or we're tuning the radio, which you're really not tuning the radio, let's face it. And so maybe the slang on words is how things changed over the years. But I remember, like I said, my grandfather was that was one of the few things he was very strict on. It's a matchbox. It's a matchbox. And we make our own matchboxes. And he would be the guy who would go to flea markets, and I'm looking at something else, and he's going through what I would consider the junk boxes, but they were really treasure boxes, as we know, of trying to find this stuff. So hey, 2.0 just stopped in.
Shane at work found a link to it.
Shane at work. Jason just popped in. Good evening, Jason.
Hello, Jason. Yes, I guess you put that little dude in your vehicle.
Well, Joe Brett, you want to play a little HF for next 30 minutes?
I've been playing HF.
You've been playing by yourself over there in the corner.
I'm working Canada on 80 meters right now.
Yeah, what, FTA? We're talking voice. You have to show everybody your operating skills.
Oh man, they don't want to talk to me.
Press 1 in the chat if you want to talk to Joe Brett.
They want Molson to come back.
They want Molson to come in. Molson's got that big signal too. So Scout, what do you have a shack inside the house there, or in some type of inside, like, what do you got?
Yep, right behind me.
So what do you got?
I got a bunch of shit in the way, so I can't really show you. but
no, just tell us what you got.
Yeah, I got the Yaesu 891. I use that primarily for HF, and then I'll do a little 2-meter work with that. But for most of the 2-meter stuff, I just have a single band Kenwood. Can't remember the model number. It's like 281 or something like that. That was the first radio I got because I wasn't sure if I was going to get into this hobby, so I went the cheap route. And it's a 65 watt. I got hooked up to a copper J pole behind the house, and for a long time I've had for 2 meters. I had the rate ISO 400 that I have out in the truck now, but that was set up here. And then when I moved out to the truck and I upgraded to the 991, I was going to use that as just a shack in the box, everything all in one. But when I wait my turn on the local repeater nets, one of my favorite things to do is hunt soda or pota, and you can't do that with the 911. It's either just one. It's either you're on HF or you're on
Right.
VHF. So I dug the old Kenwood out of the box and set it up there and let it go in. And I leave that up. The other reason I have that out is also during the summer, during thunderstorm season. I'm not too worried if that thing gets zapped. It's a $120 radio that I got my money out of. I don't want the 91A to get zapped. So whenever there's a thunderstorm and stuff, that gets unplugged, taken away from the outlets and everything. Then I can still have that Kenwood running for Skywarn nets and stuff like that, where it's kind of the sacrificial lamb, so to speak. So yeah, that's my shack in the house.
Joe Brett, everyone is responding with a 1. Yeah, I think you don't want to really let anybody down, do you?
You got
Yeah.
2 of them three of them that may actually try. Or 4.
Molson, what are you doing right now? Why don't you fire up your HF rig?
See, 2.0's don't even have the audio turned on. He just seen people putting a 1 in the chat.
Does 2.0 have an antenna?
No. He has to go to POTAs and field days and stuff like that. I don't think he has an antenna at the house.
He may have an antenna at the house. He's just not telling anybody. Sort of like 8. Got that secret station.
There you go.
It's 160. Oh.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
What do you want to do, Molson?
I don't know. I got 2 headsets on.
Look at you. Looking all professional. Like a professional radio operator.
I disconnected my wires there.
Evidently, Mississippi's being popular on 80 meters. Or my grid square, anyway. I haven't called CQ and I've worked several stations.
All right, so according to the solar terrestrial data, everything from even 15 meters, 15 to 80 sounds to be pretty good right now. I'm looking across the map. I mean, between 40 or 20. 20 may be a... Richard, the Trucking Ham, good evening, sir. Yeah, we're going to figure it all out here. And like how we always do it, we'll figure it out through trial and tribulation. And then we're going to post the frequency. Molson, why don't you try 20 meters?
That's what I'm on.
Good.
Hello, Justin, K4LEN, Tennessee. Well, I'm on 80 meters FT8. I can't compete with Daniel's pileups.
Hold on. Oh, I messed up my connections.
I think Joe Brett should start on 20, Molson start on 40, and we'll see who gets 10 contacts first.
Oh, that's not going to be a contest.
We're not talking FT8 either. Don't let that computer do all the work.
On 80 meter FT8, I'm almost into Africa, man, on 80 meters.
Wow.
See if I can get my jerry-rigged audio set back up.
Joe Brett, what antenna are you using right now and how much power?
80 meter loop and 100 watts.
Who's this guy? What's his call sign? Papa Papa 2.
Is that Brazil?
Yeah. Okay, see if I can get this working for you guys. Hold on.
Well, folks, as you know, we come prepared.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar.
Side boom, we don't have a frequency yet because he's trying to make contact.
I'll get this guy,
Oh,
then I'll find a frequency.
well, maybe side boom's wanting to make contact with him before you do.
Maybe that's who we just worked.
Oh my gosh. Kilo Delta 9 MUG. Y'all recognize that mug of a call sign?
Victor Alpha 3,
Yeah.
Sierra Delta Oscar.
80 meters, FTA.
Victor Echo 5 Echo Mike Lima QSL. Victor Echo 5 Echo Mike Lima take on 5 and 9. Echo 5 and 9 up in Saskatchewan, Canada. Thank you for asking.
Saskatchewan.
Thank you, Eddie.
27.
Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar.
Work Molson right now on
Okay,
11
trying to
meters.
put the amp on. Oh, let's turn the amp on. I can't hear you guys. Are you guys talking?
Oh, well, I
There
mean,
you go.
sometimes.
All right, so what do we want to talk about Molson about?
Hold on. I don't care. 20 meters. Sorry, gotta get the power on.
Molson, are you looking for a frequency? SKT is suggesting 14.235.
Okay, give me a second.
Yep.
Knocked his camera off.
Audio. 5.
Dang.
He's running so much power he blew out his camera.
I did. I did. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, what frequency did
Try
SKT?
14.235. See if it's
That's
open.
where he was.
Well, that's where I was listening to the Brazil station.
Oh,
Let's see if I can get this sucker.
well, the show's about to end here.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to 246.
Well, make sure before we
I'm
announce.
going to. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta
camera.
Oscar.
It's pulsating.
I'm going to shut off that power.
See what
I got to
happens
get me
when you
some
run-
toroids in this shack.
See what happens when you run 5,000 watts PEP.
So what's that balun I put up's got the 1-to-1 choke built into it, and it's supposed to keep the RFI
Is
off
this
your
frequency
coax.
in use? This is frequency in use. This is Victor
works
Alpha 3, Sierra
Pretty
Delta
great at
Oscar.
100 watts. When I turn the amp on, it ain't got a chance.
And our buddy Shane is right. The show goes however long the show wants to go. He's absolutely
I'm
right.
I'm shutting off the amp. I'm going 100 watts from the rig. Is this frequency in use? Oh, goodness gracious. This is frequency in use. This is Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar.
Mike K, good night. Great job with some of your radio achievements over the last few days. Nice job, Mike K.
I give up. We'll do it another show.
Yes, Jody is right. The Chevy Vega headlights did all that. My neighbor had that problem too.
I'm going to 40.
Have you changed anything? Run a different antenna?
Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar. Shut up and listen. Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar.
Stepped all over the guy.
That's Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar. QSL, November 3, Florida Echo Sugar. You're 5-9 into Eastern Ontario. What's that again? Yeah, they're pretty good. I won't complain. I just turned the rig on, so we'll see how it goes for the rest of the evening.
Daniel's making a new pen pal.
Hey, guys.
You guys want to learn how to break up easy? All right, sounds awesome, man. Well, thanks for the contact, and good luck with your making contacts this evening, my friend. 73.
New Zealand just got posted on the DS cluster, 28475.
Oh, let's see if I can get that. Oh, 28475.
When I was chasing them the other night, they were, like, again, just barely breaking the noise level for me. Oh, it's frustrating. Again, that drives me crazy. But
Nothing.
part of the fun of the island.
Nothing for me.
All right. Well, then find a clear frequency and let's get some of these people working in the chat.
Okay, fine. 7. We'll see.
They all want to talk to you.
No, they don't.
There you go.
I'm gonna go to 7188. Is that below you guys?
That's our general portion.
Let's go 7200.
That's still part of our general portion.
I can go 7203. I'm going to all the shit disturber frequencies. All right, here we go. Is this frequency in use? This is frequency in use. This is Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar.
Frequencies in use, please QSY.
Is this frequency in use? Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar.
Wilson, what do you got for frequency? I'll post it for you.
Nothing heard. 7228. This is Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar calling CQ from Victor Alpha 3 Sierra Delta Oscar CQ40 VA3SDO QRZ. Kilo 3 Zulu Alpha Charlie, you are about a 5-5 into Eastern Ontario. Very good. Thanks for the 5-7. Doing well here. Enjoying the first day back at work after Thanksgiving, man. Everybody wants to have a conversation tonight. Yeah, beautiful time of year. Leaves change colors and fall to the ground. You know, nothing like death to signify the winter to come. Anyways, but listen, I'll let you go. I'm going to make some contacts before bedtime, and thanks for reaching out to me this evening, Zach. 73. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. You hear that? Kilo 4 Lima station?
Kilo 4, Lima, Bravo, Lima.
Kilo 4 Lima, Bravo Lima. You're a 5'7", Brian, into Eastern Ontario.
QSL, thanks. You are about 20 over 9 here in the state of Virginia and watching the live stream. Have fun.
All right, man, I'll take it. And thanks for tuning in and making contact this evening, my friend. 73. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. Kilo India 5, Fox Whiskey Japan. Come again?
I got you a 5757 here, and I want to give you a worldwide, because I just got down.
Nice.
Oh, thank you very much. You're 5'7" into Eastern Ontario, my friend, and thanks for the contact this evening.
Sabu just got down.
That was nice of him.
73. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. Kilo Echo Station. Come again? Bravo something November. Kilo Echo 8 Bravo Station. He's down in the noise, man. You're in the noise, my friend. Sorry about that. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. November Hotel November Station.
Kilo 4, Hotel, November Hotel. Molson, please copy 59, Augusta, Georgia.
All right, Louis, you're 5'9" into Eastern Ontario, my friend.
Roger, 73.
73. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. I got Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November. You're 5'6" into Eastern Ontario.
QSL, Dan, 5 and 7.
Oh, he just came up.
1824. Have a good show, buddy, 73.
Yeah, he just came up there. You're 5'9". Thanks for the contact and for the park. 73.
Ooh, Shane had pants on.
This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. Kilo Delta 9 Mike Uniform Golf. You're a 5'7" into Eastern Ontario, Greg.
5'9", Southern Indiana.
Thanks for the 5'9". I haven't seen you around lately on the show, so hope to see you. Well, maybe I'm just blind. Anyways, thanks for the contact, buddy. 73.
That's because he's playing on that FT8 with Joe Brett.
November, Juliet, Juliet.
KD9 November Juliet. You are 5'9" into Eastern Ontario.
5'9" in Wisconsin. Good to hear you.
All right, Shane, 73, my friend. This is VA3SDO, QRZ. There's people in the noise, but I can't make them out. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, calling CQ40 from Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ.
What happened to the band? Did it just fall out?
I think it just shifted. There's a bunch of people in the background there, but I can't make them out. Let me get rid of something here. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, calling CQ from Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar.
So long, James. Have fun in the park. Be safe.
Alpha Echo Station.
Kilowatt Niner, Alpha Echo Echo.
Kilo 9 Alpha Echo. You are a 5'8" into Eastern Ontario, Kent.
Roger, you're 5'9" plus about 10 here in northwest Indiana.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kent, for the contact. 73 and all the best. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. Is there a Whiskey 5 Romeo station?
Affirmative, that's Whiskey 5 Romeo. I've got you as a 3-3 into North Texas.
Yeah, you're about a 5-6 into Eastern Ontario, man.
I sure appreciate the contact tonight. You guys have a good time on the air.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's Whiskey 5 Romeo, correct?
Correct. Whiskey 5 Romeo, special event station.
Ooh, cutting out there.
Yeah, special.
All right, man. The band's shifting there on you. Thanks for the special event station, 73, and all the best.
73.
Yeah, have fun
This
with
is
that.
Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ.
Wasn't Richard the trucking hell? Was it?
Whiskey 6 Alpha Whiskey Lima. You're about a 5-5 into Eastern Ontario, Arthur. It just shifts like that, eh? All right, man. Thanks for the contact. And 73, the band is shifting pretty quickly here. 73. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. And like that, there's nobody. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. Somebody's in the noise again. I gotta push some juice.
You want to try 20 meters?
CQ40, CQ40. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, calling CQ, CQ, CQ from Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar. Yankee India Zulu. Is that November 5, Yankee India Zulu?
Yeah. Nice.
Sounds good,
Mobile.
Preston. Thanks for the mobile from Texas there. And you're about a 5-5 into Eastern Ontario. Sounds good, man. Thanks for the contact. 73.
Should ask him what antenna he's using.
Not hearing
I know.
you too well. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, QRZ. That's it. I'm going to go QSY. This is Victor Alpha 3, Sierra Delta Oscar, clearing the frequency. Let's go to 20 meter. I might kill my camera on it. That's the problem. 20 meters is dead for me. Yeah. 17.
Molson, for your location, again, based on the map, and take it with a grain of salt, it's everything from like the Mississippi going west, even
Yeah.
into even into northern Canada. You know, even into Alaska.
Should we go 80 meter?
Sure, why not?
Anybody want to make contact on an 80?
I think your footprint's going to be a little smaller, but you never. I mean, obviously, but you don't know. I mean, hey.
Oh man, everything's quiet tonight.
Uh-oh. At least your internet's working.
True.
No. I don't know. Joe Brett, you do some contacts.
I've been doing contact the whole show.
Whatever. Anyways, let's do the rounds there, and we're getting to the end of the show here. So I'm gonna shut down the radio. It's not a good night for radio. It looks like.
Scott, what do you got going on? Anything? Any more videos coming up? You had one tonight.
Yeah, I got a few in the works. I got a video where I go over the kit that I got set up for my 818 for soda operations. That's going to be coming up soon. I have a few sodas planned along the North Shore, Lake Superior, and Minnesota side. I got a couple of trips planned for that. And I might be heading into the UP, Michigan for a soda activation as well. So
Nice.
it'll be more than usual coming down the line.
Nice. Excellent. Molson, we know you're kind of tired out there from flexing all those bands, but. Uh-oh.
So what's it called? No. I was I was literally holding contacts together on my headphone the whole time like this, and it became very uncomfortable. I had to buy an adapter. Okay, so be quiet. What's it called? I'm working on a couple videos, so hopefully one day those will be out. And
We'll send you.
have that to you
We'll
guys.
send you an adapter if you need an adapter. Just tell us what you need. We'll send you an adapter. We can make
My
it happen.
Canadian,
We know
my
people.
Canadian pesos can't have. No, I got to go from a 1/4 inch, what's it called, sleeve pin, 2 of those, to a stereo 1/8 inch female.
2 male RCAs to a
No, 2 male mono like this,
Yeah.
1/4 inch, to a single stereo 1/8 inch jack for my headphones, because that'll allow me to put in one ear of my headset the computer, and on the other ear the rig. So I have to order that or find it first.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, nothing special happening with me. Got a couple of videos in the pipe, and that's it.
Oh, you're always special, so don't worry.
Yeah, shut up. And then I'm gonna have to pay some model to take a picture with my harvest table when I post my video.
That's right.
Yeah.
Molson, did you notice the shirt tonight? My shirt?
What about it?
It's black. I made sure I wore my black shirt today.
Dude, that's gray.
It's actually black. Joe Brett's is gray. It's just the
No,
lighting in here.
Mine's
It's the
actually
lighting.
blue.
Yours is blue? Okay.
It's the heather blue.
Ooh.
And Scout's wearing his honorary Charlie Red Summits t-shirt. I got one of those, so I get a lot of nice comments when I wear mine.
But nobody's got a Molson t-shirt.
Nobody has a Molson t-shirt. We got to get Bean to do something. So, hey Brian, thank you for the $4.99 adapter fund super chat. So thank you. See, Molson, people do care about you. So there you go. Convert that into your Canadian pesos and
Make sure Beer Snack gets that to him
Yeah.
for his adapter.
That's like a week's wages in Canada.
Joe Brett, you worked tonight. You worked hard making those FTA contacts tonight, all into Africa and
Yeah.
other parts of the continent of the globe.
Yeah. It's kind of. I've never really done 80-meter FT8. I don't do a lot of FT8 anyway, but
Could have fooled us,
every now and then.
except for on Tuesday nights.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty neat watching the PSK reporters all from coast to coast down into Puerto Rico and almost to Africa. Just some little island outside of Africa. We'll call it Africa. Close enough.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Nothing really going on for me. I bought some antennas that I was going to play around with, and of course the timing, I should have waited, but that's okay because at least they're here. I unpacked them, but I have a busy, crazy 2 weeks here between some recertifications going on and some college stuff with my daughter. But maybe the week before Halloween or that weekend after Halloween or whatever, I'm getting the itch. I'm getting the itch to get out and activate. Hunting is fun, but I want to try some stuff with maybe a rotatable dipole with some whips. So gonna play. But anyway, hey, listen, next week, guys, we have a potential. If we didn't chase him away tonight, we're gonna have a great show next week. We'll have a guest. We'll post it out on Twitter once we get an official confirmation from him. We hope he will join us. We'll have some more fun next week. We'll see who's here next week. We know Scout 75 is always here. We don't know if Shane is working. We'll see if our brother Steve still has some more training and certification that he's doing on Tuesday nights. He may be wrapping that up. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get Beer Snack back. You never know around here. So you never know what's going to happen on Ham Radio Clubhouse. So everybody have excuse me. Everybody have a good week. Be safe. Have fun. Be good operators.
Hey, I got a little hint to drop.
What's that?
Next week's guest is an artist. Okay.
Good. Yes, he is. He is an artist.
Next week's guest might be busy filming something. I'm not too sure. And that's all I'll say.
All right, then. And with those words, everybody wave goodbye. We'll see you at 730.
Bye. Go watch
Bye,
my
we'll see you.
videos.
Who's hitting the outro?
Oh,
So, man, who's gonna push that button?
I'll do it. Hold on. Ready,
Hold on,
set.